Hey everyone, welcome to the Gentleman's Core. My name is Jordan B. Ferdinand.
And I'm Darren Lindsay.
We're your hosts, and we're basically going to be breaking everything down to you. So, basically, today's going to be a good introduction. Basically, what we're going to be talking about. Who I am Jordan, like I said, Jordan B. Ferdinand. Essentially, what I do is I do computer programming. I own two businesses. One is Gentleman's Ambition, which is the motivational speaking and public speaking business that also does clothing design. And I also run an IT company called Impeccably IT, where I do web design, online marketing, social media optimization, and soon to be app development by January.
And I'm Darren Lindsay. I'm a graphic designer. I also design for a law firm full-time, Ogletree Deakins, and I've been doing this for about 6 years. So
thank you so much for listening. Essentially what this podcast is going to be two young men just trying to get great word out, get great content out to the public, and we're just here to be able to give you guys some just assistance in life. So the topic we're going to be talking about today is essentially just going to be about how to become the best you can be. We're talking about motivation. We're going to be talking about life in general, as far as in New Orleans. What you guys may not know is that we're both from New Orleans, both the same age, at 25 years old. Essentially, what brought us to this route in life, like I said, we're both 25 from New Orleans, but we're both entrepreneurs at the same time. We both also have full-time jobs at different places.
Yes.
What I do full-time is I work as a computer program analyst for the Louisiana Supreme Court, and part-time at the Apple Store in New Orleans.
Definitely, stability is important. I work at Ogletree Deakins. It's a law firm. I started maybe 3 or 4 years ago as an office assistant, which later turned into me getting a position as a graphic designer, one of 3 for a law firm with 49 offices. So,
sweet.
Yes.
It all starts somewhere. We both have goals to become full-time entrepreneurs in our own fields and running our own businesses. But at the moment, we enjoy it for the most part, but our end goal is to really get into entrepreneurship. I believe that what got us into it, well, I can speak for myself, why I got into entrepreneurship was because I really wanted to do something that made me happy. And someone always told me that in order for you to be happy, no one can make you happier than how you can make yourself. Not to mention that you'll never run into a boss who loves you more than you love yourself. So how about you become your own boss?
Yes.
So that's why I became an entrepreneur. I wanted to really treat myself and pay myself what I deserved. I feel as if no job I ever got into will give me what I deserve, and that's really freedom to be able to work wherever I want, to be able to enjoy what I do on a daily basis. Not saying that I don't enjoy my job, because I definitely do. They're really great. I have great coworkers, great bosses there, but I really love the lifestyle that entrepreneurship I have when it comes down to just getting out and just doing whatever they want. You can make your own off days, and at the same time, clientele. Your clients are your boss, essentially, but you get to control your own hours, and at the same time, you're there to be able to just grow in your own way.
Yes, one of the things Jordan and I recognize on my day job is a lot of the employees are frustrated. Sometimes they like their job, sometimes they don't. And what I discovered is there's not a moment or a time when I just want to quit DOGD. Like, there's days when, very few days where business may be slow, or when a client irritates me or pisses me off. But for the most part, that's my business. I control everything that comes in and out of the business. Though it's not always easy, it's something that I just cannot walk away from because it's my business. And just working at the firm, and even on Facebook, I saw today a friend of mine from college said he's so excited that he got a new job today and a new apartment. And sometimes I think about that. He didn't say I started a business today. He said I got a new job, which means that he's working for someone else, again. Yeah. And I just know, Jordan, growing up, I was always taught to go to college, start a family, move away, and I was never encouraged to be an entrepreneur, to start a business. In fact, though I went to St. Aug for a few years.
Perfect.
Yes. I don't even think that I had too many men around me growing up that were actual business owners. So how I got to where I got was the fact that I was in college it was my sophomore year, and I had some issues with financial aid. I attended HBCU, Alabama A&M, and I was on campus, and I could not register for classes, and I said, I'm not going home this semester. Like, I don't want to be that guy that packs up his stuff in the middle of the school year and go home. So I was in a play, and I thought I was stupid for being in extracurricular activities when I wasn't a student. I'm like, I'm really lame for going to play practice every day. But I'm not even a student, but I did it. It gave me something to do, and I was applying for like Applebee's. I was applying for Lowe's, and none of these places would hire me. And I was like, there has to be something that I can do to get me out of this. So there has to be something that's better than where I am. And needless to say, I went to play rehearsal one day, and the director needed a flyer for the play, and this guy, Justin Adu, was a graphic designer. He had contacted her back, and I volunteered to do the flyer and put my name at the bottom of it. And from then on, the business kind of picked up. Some Greeks kind of hit me up and asked me, what it is, how much my rates were. So I went back to the dorm and made this ridiculous rate sheet, and I just kept it going. I found my niche, and I just kind of kept it going. So
that's some of how I started mine. Well, not exactly per se, but how growing up, I was always taught that I didn't have any limitation on what I can do. But like most people, especially like most young black men, I dreamed of being a football player. But differently, what I wanted to do was I wanted to be a football player, and I wanted to be a lawyer at the time. That was something that I kind of like always had in my mind. Not that I ever liked law in general. I just wanted to do that. Ironically, I work in the Louisiana Supreme Court.
Was it because it sounded good?
It sounded good. Yeah. It sounded
because
like
I wanted to be an architect, but when I went on an intern, I was in high school, and I was like, man, this is not what I thought it was going to be. You know?
Yes. It's being a lawyer was not anything that I just liked the sound of, hey, I want to be a lawyer or a judge one day. Honestly, I just wanted to wear a suit and just to be able to say like, hey, I'm this big important guy. Where in reality, there's a whole bunch of different opportunities that you can go with. Like I said, I grew up wanting to be a lawyer and a football player. That sounds awesome to say, but life has other plans for me. Essentially, I originally was going to school for international business and international law at Nicholls State University, and then I realized I was like, this is not for me. And I actually even looked up information on lawyers that were happy at the time. This is 2009, my first semester in college, and out of everyone I looked at, it was over maybe freaking like 60 different comments. I was looking at different people talk about it. None of them, if all of them said, at least 90% of them said they can go back to school for something completely different, they would. And I was just like, that's a long time in school to be saying that I wish I went to school for something else. So from there, I changed my major. And I was just like, you know what? I don't want to be unhappy. And that wasn't me saying, hey, I don't want to do what everyone else said that they didn't do. I already wasn't happy with it. So, and honestly, I was looking at the money too, which is never a good thing when you're looking at a career. So I changed it only to international business. And I did look up information on the job employment for that as well. And it wasn't looking too good personally. Shout out to everyone who got the degree in international business doing well, but for what I saw, it wasn't doing too well. That's why I changed it. And then for one semester, I was getting my degree in psychology. Well, one semester I was majoring in psychology. But I just realized that wasn't my thing neither, and so I switched it back to international business. And then I was kind of like just floating around for a while until I realized, you know what, I like technology. I took a computer class, and I was just like, you know what, I like technology, I like business. Why not go into this major that's called computer information systems? And so that's what I ended up doing. Essentially, and now I work at the Louisiana Supreme Court as a computer program analyst. I never really saw myself as being a computer programmer. I really just wanted to get in the managerial type level, but I did so many internships, and after doing an internship doing computer programming and web design, I actually liked it. In school, what they like to do is just, I'm not going to say what they like to do, but for what my classes were, it wasn't really enriching when it comes to like how to computer program in general. I had to really go out there and learn it myself. So in school they'll tell you that, hey, you're on your own after you leave after you leave school, after you leave this classroom, nobody's gonna help you in your job. When that's nothing further from the truth. I have coworkers who are always there to help me. I have a boss that's always there to give me assistance. And if they can't figure it out, they're just like, Google it, YouTube it. That's what they do. And they've been doing this since the 90s. And I'm just like, well, since internet came up, not the early 90s, but obviously they've been doing that since the late 90s. And so, that's something that I really got into. But I started entrepreneurship because I had two jobs doing computers, which is Apple and Supreme Court, but I wanted to do something outside that and explore my other passions, which was just influencing people to do better things, as well as kind of like try to bring up more brands to be happy. So that's where Gentleman's Ambitions started. And I started Impeccably IT this year because I really wanted to get into the subject of really starting my own legacy, a little bit more so than just doing motivational speaking, because my passion at the end of the day is technology. So I thought to myself, you know what? I would so much rather start my own IT company that someday became even greater than Google, became even greater than Apple, rather than actually work for them. Not saying in Google and Apple is definitely great spots, and I actually have a job opportunity with them, but I really want to start my own, and I feel as if nobody would be. I couldn't make myself happier nothing can make me happier than me working for myself. That's the reason why I push entrepreneurship so much. At both of my jobs, I tell people all the time, I was just like, hey man, you start your own. Yes. Like, it's cool to be at work and you're making your own, making a living, but at some point in time, you gotta get tired of just the day in and day out. Yeah. My mom and dad both been working for the Sheraton Hotel on Canal Street, New Orleans, Louisiana, since before I was born. They met there. Yeah. So they've been working there since the early 80s. I'm 25 years old. I was born in 1991. They're still working there to this day. And do
they like it?
They do not like it. I actually, when I was looking for a job originally, when I was like 18, 19 years old, I got my first job at 19. Worked at Sears for maybe 3 months as a mattress salesman, and I ended up quitting there because I ended up quitting there because I didn't like something. I did somebody telling me what to do and getting up on time. That was horrible.
Did you sell cars at one point?
I did sell. That was an internship. Yeah. So I was a social media intern, but at the same time I sold cars sometime on the side. But I didn't get any commission off that. Gotcha. I probably got $300 off that, but I had to give my sale to a salesperson, and they made most of it up. I just got a little bit of it.
Jordan, tell me this. So you are a college graduate.
Yeah.
Bachelor's degree.
Yes.
Bachelor's degree. I'm not a college graduate. And oftentimes, because I'm a graphic designer and marketing coach, I don't always push education, but I do want people to know that education is important. I tell people often that a bachelor's degree is almost equivalent to a high school diploma because almost everyone has it.
Right.
One thing that separates you, Jordan, from other graduates with bachelor's degree is that you intern. How did you get to your internships that allow you to be exposed to tech? Did you apply for it? Did you have professors that applied for it? Because I think sometimes people stop at graduation. Like, I have the bachelor's degree, now I'm chilling, or I'm gonna just apply for a job and I'm gonna get it. Right. And oftentimes people don't get jobs because they lack the experience. But you've done several internships before, so how did you get there?
I applied. My teachers didn't really help too much at all. They didn't help at all when it came to because I went to school at Nicholls State University. Basically, they only had maybe a handful, maybe 4 at the most, but usually it was only one internship that they really offered to students. The IT department wasn't big at all, and there was only local too, in the Houma area, Houma, Louisiana, and really no one really got it too much. So it was just I had to go out and apply for these jobs on my own. After the first time I got an internship, I just kept applying, and I just kept my options open. Essentially, school didn't help me with that at all. School really just gave me what I needed in order for me to be able to get a little bit further along. But in every position that I have, I just got really putting in the work, because at the end of the day, the job wants to know if you have the skill set. They don't care necessarily if you have the degree or not. They do, but that's more or less a prerequisite. They really want to see prerequisite. They really want to see if you have the skill set to do the job that you said you can do. And as long as you have that, honestly, certifications are a lot better these days as well, because it certifies that, hey, I know how to do this. I was tested in this area and I'm good at what I do. Other things, just like, you can say you had a degree, but at the end of the day, all you did was study, and you probably got full 4.0 in school, but can you go out and do the job that you studied you can do? It's a whole different animal from just taking a test and actually making sure that your program is running right. It's a whole different animal from just memorizing what was on your notes and actually going about doing what you're supposed to do in your job. And like I said, people are going to be there to help you, and you can always look up information, but you have to be able to know how to do the job and do the job right. That's how I feel. All my internships that I got just applying on my own. School didn't help me out with that at all.
Now, when did you apply? Did you apply after college, or did you apply during college? During.
Because that's when I got into my junior year. That's when I really was starting to apply for different spots and everything. So outside of that, it was just a big, up and down type of situation. Sometimes you got it, sometimes you didn't. But I was fortunate enough to get every internship that I was able to get. And I thank God for that.
So that brings me to opportunity. A lot of people say they aren't successful because they aren't given that opportunity. And as entrepreneurs, we create opportunity. We don't wait for it to happen. It's something that's within us, passion, drive, and we create it. I will say, at the firm that I worked at, my aunt was working there. She did not get me a job, but she told me of a job opportunity, and I applied for it. And I got it at the firm as a office assistant. So I filled up coffee machines, I stocked machines with paper, got the mail, things of that nature. I did court runs and things of that nature. But in my cubicle, I had my business cards that said Darren Lindsay Graphic Design. And the OA at the office said, hey, Darren, there's a marketing department. And needless to say, she put me in contact. I was working at the firm no longer than 8 months with a lady in Atlanta. And she gave me some design projects. We went back and forward, and she ended up coming to meet me in person, and she had me designing this program called Adobe InDesign. Never designed in a program before. In fact, I hadn't even used Photoshop. I was new to Photoshop as a designer. Most of my designs came from Apple has this thing, it's kind of like Microsoft Word, it's called Pages. So a lot of my designs was screenshots. And shout out to everybody that took me serious when I really wasn't even a designer. I just had an eye for things and I just tried to make it work. I was selling screenshots to people and everything, and they were paying me for it. They was like, Darren, this is 72 DPI. The printer said, can you send it higher? I'm like, I don't know how to do that. But I hear a lot of people, Jordan, talk about they can't get to a higher place, or they can't have anything because opportunities are limited. And at the firm, I was lucky to move up after the lady came in. My computer wasn't working, and she flew back to Atlanta the next day and offered me the job position anyway. So at that moment, I had to learn the programming, and a lot of times I'm using the word opportunity because had it not been for me working there as an office assistant, I wouldn't have been able to be a graphic designer for that firm and all of its offices. So sometimes it's good to start small, and we can just get our foot in the door, and then we can learn the tools and the trades that we need to know to become successful, and use it to be elevated. That's a great way to go about doing it. You never know what opportunities are out there. I tell people all the time, being in New Orleans is look, we're like I said, beginning of this, we're both 25. Everyone that's in our generation, their main focus while we were growing up was just like, hey, I'm gonna go out and be successful, get my degree, and I'm gonna leave. New Orleans ain't ish. They don't got nothing down there for me. I can't be successful, and that's just a load of crap because it's just like there's opportunities everywhere you go. You just have to make it. You just have to be open-minded and just not think the same way. Granted, some of the people who are also saying that aren't living the best way, that aren't living in the best area. So obviously, anywhere is gonna
going to be better than where they are. But the people that are living in the higher area, you know, they're not tripping. They're not feeling like they need to move somewhere else in order for them to be successful. They're making opportunities where they are. You know, so I can understand that. But at the same time, don't just make it seem like New Orleans just doesn't have what it takes in order for you to be successful when you can. You know, like I said, you can't find a job anywhere. You can go out and make your own job
and create your own opportunities, and that's the main thing. I have so many people, Jordan, that says, "Man, move to Houston," and I'm like, "What is in Houston?" And I just relocated downtown. I just got my first spot, and I look out my window to downtown New Orleans every morning, every night, and I'm like, I don't see what people can't see in New Orleans. You know, I have friends from out of state, from high school. I went to finished high school in Missouri after Katrina, and I have friends come down and they just find so much character in our city, and so have so much love for our city. And we have some locals that I just think that this is the worst city ever, and I'm like, it's not. And if your occupation is what's making you hate the city, then maybe you need to create your own opportunities. You know, so, or even if it's going back to school, if it's learning a trade or taking an IQ test and figuring out what it is that you do well, you know, some of the things that you may like, doing a self-assessment test, taking the time to know who you are, and then you can learn about what differences you can make in your community, in your own life, and then essentially you'll be happy and you'll love it here too. So
it comes down to like, are you happy where you are, and what makes you happy? You know, outside of just doing things that just like what's expected of you, you have to do something that is meant for you to do, and you feel as if you can do anything you want to do in your heart. You know, so how do you feel as if you can never be happy just working for someone else at the end of the day, like unless you know that's something that you want to do. I know a guy who works at McDonald's in Shrewsbury, Louisiana, in Jefferson Parish. This guy loves what he does. He makes you want to go through that drive-through.
Listen,
he's amazing. I can talk to him. I can talk about this guy for 10 minutes, just talking about how great his customer service is. I'll go through the drive-through, and you already know it's him by the way he talks into it. There's no, you know, when you go to McDonald's, usually they're just like, go ahead, or they don't even, you know, they don't even say like, welcome in. Just like, go ahead. What's your order? This guy welcome you in like, how you doing, guys? Welcome to McDonald's. You know, how can I take your order? And then he has such charisma doing it.
Gotta find joy in what it is that you do, and if you for whatever reason, don't like what you do, or you are placed under circumstances. I know I talk to my mom about this a lot. She says something she can't do because she has to do this and she has to do that. And some older people may think that they're too old to change, but if you cannot change your situation, somehow find joy in what it is that you do, so that life is not as miserable as you want it to be. You know,
sometimes life isn't as bad as you make it seem to be. It's just that in your mind you just feel as if everything's so horrible because you just don't see a way out. You know, what you have to do is just figure out like what you want to do and just go forward with it. You know, it's easier, and some people say like it's easier said than done, but at the same time it's true. Like, what will make you happy? Think about that for a second and just go for that. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. You know, you can't just, and don't wait until you say there's a perfect time. There's no perfect time in order for you to be successful. It's either now or never. Don't wait until right now. Right now, the date is October 11th in 2016. You don't have to wait until January 2017 in order to make your dreams come true. You don't have to wait until January 2017 in order to start your own business. You can do it right now. Don't make the excuse like, oh, well, you know, it's the end of the year. I got to buy presents.
Or I don't have resources, or I don't know who to contact. The more we come up with excuses, the longer it would take for us to get to that level of success. So definitely start now, and you just said it. What was it? And go for that. What will make you happy? And go for that. Go for that. You know, if you don't know the answer to something, educate yourself. Ask questions. Use Google. Google almost knows everything. Google almost knows everything. You know, if you don't have the answers, you know, go to someone that does. Post a status. Ask a question. Post a tweet. You know,
you never know who will know the questions that you have. Somebody may know the answer that you know. You know, but you have to be able to put yourself out there, or at least ask that question in order to get get the answer. Some people are just scared to ask too.
Yeah.
Some people are just like, as long as I stay quiet about it, it might just go away. Your dream and your unhappiness is never going to go away. And I wrote a post about this before when it came down to no matter how slow you're going in order to reach success, you're still lapping the person that's just laying on the sofa just watching TV. You're still going faster than the person who just goes to work at 9 to 5 and when they come home, all they do is watch TV and lay on the sofa. At the end of the day, if you go to work at 9 to 5 and you come home and you're tired, you're exhausted, but you just really want to be successful above all else, so the time when you usually resting, you're actually putting in work towards what your ambition is. You're actually trying to start your business and start your brand. I really admire those people that go out and start their own. And I was having a conversation about this with different people, many different people, when it comes down to like, I respect those who build their own businesses more than those who work 9 to 5s. Not saying I have anything against people who work 9 to 5s, because me and Darren also work 9 to 5s. But at the same time, we don't let that stop us from being entrepreneurs and really trying to push forward with being full-time entrepreneurs eventually. You know, my goal is to be doing my business full-time by December. Darren's goal is to be doing the same thing by next year. This is our short-term goals up until we do something else as well. So it's just like, and the reason why I admire people who are entrepreneurs is because they're building something out of nothing. They're creating life. They're creating a whole new lifestyle for themselves, and not just trying to rely on others in order to be successful. And when I say others, it's like jobs. You know, for entrepreneurs, the way that they think, when they want more money, they don't say that, oh, I need to work more hours.
Or I need to apply for a job.
Another job. I don't need to make overtime. No, you know what? I'm going to go out and just make more content, sell this, and make even twice as much. You know, I'm putting in more work. You know, not within a job, but just doing your own thing. When you get off work, there's still time in order for you to do what you need to do. We all have the same 24 hours every day. The person who you admire the most has the same amount of time that you have. But the reason why you're not successful is because you're not putting in the work in the work. You don't have the work ethic that the other person does. But you don't let that stop you. You can still start your own. You can still build your type of work ethic if you just start now.
And granted, you know, entrepreneurship may not be for everybody, but Jordan said it best. Go for what. Consider what it is that makes you happy and go for that. So whether it's starting your own business, whether it's being an entrepreneur, whether it's, you know, working for someone else, whatever it is that you stand in need of, always make sure that you're happy. Don't live in lack. Don't become miserable. Don't become stagnant, all because you decided not to do what it is that you need to do to get to the next level or to make yourself happy. So don't stay stagnant, people.
And I'm sorry if I feel as if I'm putting out like I want everyone to be entrepreneurs, when some people that's just not what they want to do. But at the same time, everyone can be business owners. That's 100% fact. You don't necessarily have to run a business. You don't have to run your business personally in order to have a business. That's when it comes down to like investing in different areas, investing in different businesses. Like say Darren and I both have a business. Say that we both pop off as, you know, like next year or 2 years from now, and we have other people who invested their money in our business. They're getting a share of that. They're getting a piece off of that. And because of that, they don't have to work, you know, depending on how much they make off of it, you know, and then they can just constantly keep investing in other people in their businesses. Thus, they're business owners, but they don't run a business technically. You know, they're really investors. So at that point, you're still living out your goals, you know, and that's ideal in my mind, you know, to the point where, and I feel as if that's a lot of entrepreneurs' goals as well, to still be working without having to do as much of the work, but you're still having that type of creative mindset, and still be able to do whatever you want to do on a daily basis, because you know I really don't want to. Both Darren and I don't have kids yet, so for me personally, I don't want to feel as if I work all day long at a 9 to 5, and when I get home, the last thing I want to do is play with my child. The last thing I want to do is spend time with my family because I'm so exhausted from work. I want to be exhausted from work because I was building my own. And when I come home, I'm so excited about everything I did today.
And essentially, Jay, when you work for yourself, you're a lot less exhausted than you are when you work for somebody else, because you like what it is that you do. You're not doing something that's overly barren or heart-wrenching or anything like that.
Yeah.
You're doing something that you like, so you won't even be as exhausted,
Exactly.
And then essentially my goal is to only have to work 2-3 days a week so I can have a lot of free time to relax and do whatever and always be available to spend time with whoever,
And that's possible.
Yeah.
That's possible. I feel as if a lot of people just feel as if that's just like scams when it comes down to like, you have to work a regular job in order to be successful. Everyone can understand this. When you post a topic or a post or status on Facebook or Instagram about, hey, I got a new job, you'll get 100, likes on that.
Man, this dude did that. He had 89 likes, and I was like, man, nice, but
Once again, like, we're not downplaying people who who have 9 to 5s, but at the same time, if that same person went out and said, hey, I just started a new business, they might get 5, 7 likes, just good lucks, and instead of really a lot of congratulations.
Screenshots,
it's at the end of the day, we really have to push forward with, telling more people to be a boss. I remember when I was about 12 years old, and originally I wanted to just go to school for business too, because I always want to have my own business. I never know what type of business I want to do. It took me a while. I didn't start my first business until 23. That's when I really understood what I wanted to get into, because I looked up franchises and everything. But I knew I wanted to be a business owner since I was about 12 years old. And I remember when I told this to one of my aunties, who actually is a business owner. She told me, like, everybody can, anybody can be a business owner. Anybody can go to school for business, go to school for something else that'll make money. And it's just like, that's so weird to say, because you can make as much money as you want to if you're your own entrepreneur, because you are in control of your own income.
Yeah.
Granted, our generation is the first generation to get into the point where you can utilize internet.
Yes.
So you don't have to spend money in order to make money by talking about it.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a storefront in order to have a business.
Yeah. I don't have to pay for marketing. I can just post it.
And reach up to an infinite amount of people, however many people are on your social media platform.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's so different now. And I just feel as if opportunities are out there for people, and if you can't find it, then just make it yourself. Create that door in order to get to where you need to be in life, because nobody's going to be there to drag you up out that hole that you're putting yourself in, because only you know how to get yourself out of there. Because we don't know how you got there in the first place. You're just down there because you just feel as if the whole world's against you and there's nothing you can do about it. But for some reason, the Lion King is coming up to my mind. Sometimes bad things happen. There's nothing you can do about it. Kuna Matata. No, you can actually do something about the issue that you're going through in life. You can put yourself in this situation where you're happier. It's all a mindset. You have to really push forward, man, and just really go for what you want. Go for what you dream about, because I don't know about you, but I want to be able to be 10 years from now, really think back like, man, look where I was. And I was happy then, but I'm extremely happy now.
Right.
Just living life, and like Darren said, you're never too old to go after what you love. You're never too old to build anything that you never built before. I tell you right now, the happiest people I ever run into, besides the guy that make bread at McDonald's, are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Like, they're the happiest people because
they really are, man.
They have the freedom to come and go as they please. They don't have to ask to go anywhere. They don't have to ask for a day off. They don't have to ask if they can leave early. They don't have to ask for if they're running out of low money and they can pay rent, that they can get an advance on their check. They just do their own thing, and they're successful in their own. They're happy with where they are.
Yeah. And we touched on those who aren't entrepreneurs, and we touched on those that are entrepreneurs and are successful at it. I just want to say to the entrepreneurs who have started their business, who may be on a downslope, stay focused, don't quit. I know it sounds cliche, but put in extra work. Do not rest at night until your business is back to where it is, or until you've got an epiphany or a strategy that would make your business be 10 times better, not 1 time, not 2 times, 10 times better than what it was originally. So don't quit. One thing I do as a designer, I do consultations, and I can't tell you how many businesses that I've designed for that no longer exist, or how many websites that I've designed for that are no longer active. Guys, let's stop doing things so that we can quit it a week from now, a year from now, some months from now. Longevity is my word for this season in my life. Right. So
Just to piggyback off of what Darren just said, when I first started my business in 2014, when my first business, Gentleman's Ambition, the first person I went up to and asked for advice was you, Darren. And I was asking like, what kind of advice you can give me for really like starting everything up, and you would just like stay consistent, because you don't want to you don't want to be 7 months from now and your business is just gone. At the end of the day, your business is your baby, so you want to really try to take care of it. You're not you're not just gonna not feed your child for a week, and just and expect it to be okay and grow. No, most likely your child's starving to death. And slowly but surely it's gonna die. That's what a business is. It's gonna die if you don't keep feeding it. You don't keep putting in the work.
Just like you eat every day, your business needs to eat every day. Okay? Right. When you feed it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And it takes a while. It takes a while in order for you to be successful at your business. Don't expect success overnight. There's no such thing as overnight success. Don't believe those free ads. Don't believe those like get rich quick schemes that say like, hey, invest $100 and you'll get to where you want to be in tomorrow. No, there's nothing like that. It takes time. It takes patience. Patience is going to get you to everywhere you need to be. It doesn't matter if it takes a year. It doesn't matter if it takes 10 years. I tell you right now that an example of someone who took a while to really blow up was Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart he's been grinding for years. I remember seeing him like maybe 2008 on certain
he's reaping the benefits now. Shit.
It's 2016 and he is out there doing it, man. I've never seen a comedian that's been so driven as much as him. I haven't seen him at Eddie Murphy. I haven't seen him from Dave Chappelle, and I love them. I haven't seen it from Cat Williams. This guy, on top of dominating the comedy game, he's been doing movies every year.
I'm surprised he ain't got a book yet.
I think he's just really waiting on that because he got a shoe line.
Right, with Nike. And that's another thing, guys. Don't limit yourself to just your one thing. Jordan said he has 2 businesses. In the spring, I decided to open up nolagrad.com. So it's great to, when I started, I keep calling myself a graphic designer, but when I started, I did flyers. Next year, I did t-shirts and banners. The 3rd year, I did apparel and websites. And then my 4th year, last year, I started doing events. I started doing marketing mixers, branding mixers. And then this year, I started doing engagements. I started speaking in Hammond and to different schools and art after school programs about marketing and advertisement and branding. So don't limit yourself. You have the potential to grow. And if you quit now, you will never see your fullest potential. You'll never see all that it is that you can become. So I remember I used to talk about myself when I started my business. I would get 3 likes, 9 likes, 14 likes. I've never reached, a huge amount of likes. And I was so proud, and that's one thing we have to have. Passion is what keeps your business going. I was so proud of my post, whether I only got 1 like, whether I was the only one liked it. And for some reason, I was just so passionate. I would keep doing it. I would keep posting it. Sometimes I would delete it and repost it again in case nobody saw it. But it wasn't even about likes. And I told a friend of mine, I said, you know what? I meant to have a lot of likes on my Facebook page. I said, but best believe I got some money in the bank. I got clientele, so it's not even about the likes. It's not even about the supporters. You fall in love with your craft. You fall in love with your gift. And then you'll be successful. You'll be successful. But like I told Jordan 2 years ago, remain consistent. You cannot quit. You cannot quit.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel the exact same way. And just like I said, going back to Kevin Hart, he started off a comedy. Now he's going into health and working out. That's how he got his Nike deal and having his own shoe line. First comedian to have his own shoe line. And on top of that, he just got a record deal. Not saying that it's super serious, but I heard his song with Trey Songz, and that song is hot. His bars are not good, but the song is hot. And so he's this comedian who went from just doing stand-up to doing movies to doing health and working out and influencing others with his positivity, as well as doing music now. I know there's a couple comedians, Jamie Foxx and everything, that does music, but it's something different when it comes to this guy.
television show, man.
This man has he has his own sitcom. He has a fake reality show. But just going out there, don't limit yourself to just one thing. My two businesses had nothing to do with each other. One is doing motivational speaking, public speaking, and have the clothing line that's focused on dress attire, and then one is IT. So it's basically web design, online marketing, search and optimization, social media marketing. The reason why I started both of them was because I have a passion for both of them. I have a passion for influencing people and just making sure everyone's as motivated as I am, because I have so much love for what I do. I have so much love for who I am as a person, and I want to spread that type of positivity. I have friends just off of that. I have so many people that just thank me on a daily basis because I bring that type of light in their life, and I tell them when they thank me, it motivates me to keep doing that, because I'm in love with what I do, but I'm also in love with helping people. And when it comes down to dress attire, I've always been into that. When I was a kid, I remember this is a funny story. When I was 4 years old, this is one and the only time I've ever been to Disney World in Florida. I got lost, and so I was walking around, just like trying to find my way. I was looking at a ride, and I just like let go of my mom's hand, and next thing you know, I was lost in the crowd. Obviously, it's like 1995. It's busy everywhere. Disney World. So I got lost, and I was just looking around. All I had was like my little Mickey Mouse stuffed animal in my hand, and I was just like, Mom, and I was chill though. I wasn't like crying. It wasn't for that long. And then next thing you know, I was thinking, okay, let me ask someone as 4-year-old. Let me ask someone who I can, if they see my mom before.
At 4 years old.
And the only person I trusted to ask was this guy that was next to me in a business suit.
Yeah.
He had a business suit on. He had like a black and white business suit on, and had a briefcase in his hand. He was the only person I trusted in order to ask a question. And I was just like, and I went up to him. I remember grabbing his sleeve, and I was like, hey, have you seen my mom? And he was just like, huh? And then he was coming down and like, look, he was like, no, but I can help you find her. And then my mom just happened to just fly on. I was like, hey, Mom. And she was like, where were you? But at the end of the day, that's an example. I've always been in the dress attire. It was just in me. But outside of that, my IT company, I've always wanted to get involved when it comes to tech, and I love when it comes to web design. At the moment, I have about 5 clients. By December, I anticipate having a good 20. I'm just really marketing and doing a lot of footwork with that. And by December, when I have 20 clients, I will be doing my business more or less full time. I'll still be at the Supreme Court, but I won't longer be working for Apple. So I really look forward to that, and I really like to tell people about just doing and chasing whatever they're passionate about. Because whether or not you're making a lot of money at it at all, that freedom that you have to come and go as you please, to wake up whenever you want, and to just be happy with what you're doing on a daily basis is irreplaceable. That's irreplaceable. And once again, like I said, none of my business have nothing to do with each other, but both of them are something that I'm extremely happy about. Both of them are something that I'm really passionate about, and I never get tired of talking about them. Like I said, your business is like your baby, so it's just like you're bragging. Like I have screenshots of my websites, and I'll just like have it in my wallet, and I'm just like, hey, you want to see them? I'm so proud of this, and it's grown so much.
Man, I'm gonna tell somebody, DarrenLindsay.com. I even have a jingle for my number. I won't share it today, but
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
But yeah, thank you so much for tuning into the Gentleman's Core podcast.
Yes.
And
this is the first episode. It's going to be soon, many more to come after this. But until then, stay blessed.
Yeah, see you next time.